My name is Beta Rock, and together we can change the world. This is a biblical text, John 3:8. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit. This then is my prayer. Lord, may I be your wind here now in Jesus' name. Amen. I have some notes about depreciation. Depreciation. That's funny because I'm an accountant and it sounds a little bit like depression. Boy, I could delete that, but this is what happens when it's live. Depression. I think I got ideas about this. One of the reasons there was the first one that my counselor mentioned when I got to graduate from counseling. He said every week you come in here, and I was using the 8 dimensions of wellness and ranking them and giving them a sheet every week. And I still like that. I haven't done it in a while, and I need to. I have a little Facebook group. It's time to check in with everybody again about this. Beta Rock Church Sunday School anticipates doing this every week with little notes. And I did do it every week with notes, and it was fine. But not having the accountability over it has kind of made it stop. But that doesn't change the fact that some of these things in there, it keeps going. Like your emotional wellness. That's one of the 8 dimensions. And every week, 10, 10, 10, 10. So it was, I think that's what he said first. It's how can I really argue that you need counseling when you attest to the fact that you're emotionally 10 every week. 10, 10, 10, not 9, not 9.3. Like with my physical, I say I'm a 9.3. I think compared to the world population, that's about right. Compared to Tony Horton, I'm not a 10. I'm trying. Working at that. But emotion, being an emotional 10 doesn't mean perfect. Doesn't mean that you never get sad. It means that you have the ability to get yourself out of that effectively and in reasonable due order, reasonable due time. Okay, it takes a little time, I guess. Different thoughts. This is, I think, why it came to mind, because by and large, when I'm 10 out of 10, like now I'm not feeling very sad. This morning I felt sad. Okay. I don't know if it's every single day that I get kind of sad. It's depression. It's a sadness that I can't quite shake. And I made different notes. I like my notes. What don't I like? I don't like any notion of taking medicine. Okay, this is not something to medicate. When I was at my let's go back before I say this. What does the Bible say about depression? I googled that. This is one of these topics that, best I know, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't give you how-tos in this area. So, but I think it matters to people are sad. It's not a good feeling at all. It's not good. It's not a good feeling at all. So I want to be a good America's pastor and talk into this because I'm good at it. Okay. I'm living proof that it's better. And I'd have to get to know you some. And you'd have to trust me if you really want help. I darn near swear to the Lord. I mean, and you're not supposed to. So I don't mean it like that. But look, my yes and yes is yes and no is no. I can help you here. Different people. That one person in particular, I still think about. She said I had a high functioning depression. See, where do they come up with these words? I mean, she did not want to do the work to get better. She liked her depression. It brought her things. And that's not good. MacArthur says, there's a little bit of shotgun ideas. He does. I just was going, what does he say? He's my favorite pastor at the moment. So I check in with him on almost anything I think about. He said it came up about his master's seminary. He has a seminary. If you didn't know that, now you know. It's pretty something. He thinks he knows it well enough to teach other, and that's good. He doesn't have psychology because he doesn't believe that psychology is good. That's interesting. I don't agree with that. Okay. At least in the sense that basically what I got out of what he said is that the theology of his theology, you need to have that as a base. So if you come at psychology without having a theological base that would match what he thinks, which I agree with, Calvinism, fundamental Christian teaching, sin, depravity, these kinds of things. His one suggestion, they had like a minute-long thing, was you basically feel depressed. That's what he was saying. If you don't meet your expectations, so he said lower your expectations. See, I don't really agree with that, but other mainly, I just want you to hear he doesn't even believe in the idea of psychology. I definitely don't believe in the idea of medicine. The lowest point, I'll never forget it because it's my dad's birthday, October 16th, 2017. So we're coming up on almost 3 years ago. I was laid prostrate out. Can you hear my air conditioner? It's kind of loud. I was laid prostrate out on my bed. I could not get up. I mean, I could have, but this was not good. And I remember being there and I was like, this is probably as most of a depressed state as somebody could be in. I had an employee at the time. I said, I can't work. I got to go upstairs. This is just, things are just not good. Okay. Totally overwhelmed with all the things that really did lay in front of me that were going to have to all get sorted out. And they did. It took about a year, jail and different things. I mean, but the thing is, this is why that lady really, and maybe you, I mean, if I didn't want to do all that stuff. I mean, God got involved here, I believe, and took care of making sure he wasn't going to let me stay in that position like my friend chose to stay. He'd had enough, so to speak. Like, we're going to do this. It's going to hurt, but you're going to get better. And that's what I think. It was serious. So I'll tell you now about that. But if sometimes the destruction is appropriate, that's why when you medicate the pain, no, I remembered thinking this though too, when I was laid out prostrate like this. I knew some of the toxic people in my life were part of this. They were they were saying medicine, and I even went to the hospital. The hospital, they wanted to make sure I wasn't going to kill myself. I guess if I was going to kill myself, they'd maybe strap me down so that I wouldn't. But that was their question: are you going to kill yourself? No. All right, bye. I mean, get in line and do the counseling. And so this was not a quick fix, and it wasn't. But I remember thinking then that I'm not going to take medicine. No matter how much this pain hurts, I believe that my body, all of me was fussing, crying. And so I needed to let my body teach me, like, that was helpful pain. It wasn't something that needed to stop. It meant when you touch a hot stove and it hurts, don't touch the stove. When something's in your life and if you're feeling that pain, don't medicate it. Find out what that thing is and get it out. Different people I talk to, that one I mentioned, but this is common. So do you want to get better? Like Jesus says, the guy at what's that pool? It's not Bethesda, is it? Where he says to the guy with the mat that had been there for 39 years, do you want to get better? Do you want to get better? Do you want to get better? I mean, I can't help you if you don't want to get better. She didn't want to get better, and when I started to really tell her the things, she got so mad she didn't want, because of the cost. And that's sad. That's sad. Anyway, so let's see what other notes I had written down here. This was what got it stirred up in me, because Charles Stanley was talking about something. I said, that's right. This is something I just learned. He said, people don't want to be around somebody that's all grumpy and down and, just depressed, right. And so really at times of life, and even here now, there was this idea, well, I'm going to talk to my friends, friends, I mean, it could be friend or friends, but I'm going to talk to them and say, I'm sad. And and I didn't want it, when he said that, I'm like, right, this is not something that needs to be dealt with my friends. Maybe it can be there. I'm just giving you something here that I'm like, that's right. And then there's Joyce Meyer preached this too. So what is it? I wrote it down here. 1 Samuel 36, and 30 verse 6. 1 Samuel 30 verse 6, where David encouraged himself in the Lord. That was what Joyce Meyer was clamped onto. Like, look, get over it. Get it together with God. Not distance. And that's what over the weekend, I was having one of these down times. And here's another thing that I did too. And I decided to just live with it. I knew that it wasn't going to be here forever. Sometimes after I work 3 days, I have 3 days off, so I'm not around people, these kinds of things. And so when I was talking to different people, this is what was coming up. But at this one time, I just was like, you know what? I'm not dying. I'm not dying. I'm not dying. And I could maybe get up and do these other things to deal with it, but I just simply decided to live with it. Like right now I've got to, I cut something, this hurts, but I'm just going to live with it. It's not that bad. It's not that I didn't like it, but I wasn't dying. And so kind of just owning maybe the control over the situation. Like, I don't need to run. I don't need to deal with this. It's going to be okay. I'm okay here. And I'm thinking about different things to handle on Sundays. If that, okay. I hate the medicine now. Don't live in depression. The 8 dimensions of wellness. What's going on here? If your whole life, I think a good tool. 10 out of 10 in every freaking area. So mostly I want you to feel kind of rebuked. If you deal with depression, then what the hell is wrong with you? I'm not going to, I want to empathize. No, not really. I mean, I'd have to hear your story, but generally I think the world cultism is so foolish into being sympathetic into this. Like, even in my own story, like a lot of people, this is real. No, people get sad. Okay, get over it. Okay, but I'm definitely tending more into this is kind of made up, not definitely in the sense of it being some kind of lots of people and come into our club where we sit around and we're the sad people. No, this is not good. Get it. Come on, what's going on? Rebuking sharp into this. The Bible talks about this. Fear not. Don't be afraid. Let's see if I have these. Is this what it say here? Hang on. Oh, look. Cast your cares on him. Do not be anxious about anything. Fear not. Trust in the Lord. Not a lot of sympathy here. Here's another one. That's so true. This happened at work. So there's been a couple of different factors that were happening that made me think of this. Psalm 142, verse 3. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me. So that sounds kind of like depression. That made me think of this. I circled it. I could show you. Let's see. Can we zoom in there? Yeah, let's see. I can see that's the verse here. In the way in which I walk. Okay, so he's sad, overwhelmed. Then you knew my path. Okay. I mean, that could be some level of comfort. God's here. I mean, this is all part of like what MacArthur would be saying about some fundamental doctrines. God's sovereign. What's going on here? What are you trying to tell me? What's going on here? What do I need to learn? Then here's the thing. In the way in which I walk, they have secretly set a snare for me. So the people that, you might be thinking would be sympathetic here are actually setting snares and hurting you. Okay. Righteousness over relationship. I'm just breathing things out here, trusting a little bit of John 3:8. That definitely applied to me. Toxic people. I think that applied to my other friend. Can be family. Hate. Listen, Jesus talks to this. If you don't hate, if it comes to these times, if you don't hate your parents and all the people that are listening to that verse, I need to bring it up again to learn it better. So I know the different people that he says. Let's look. Okay. Time out here to get some things right. Jesus, let's see here. I got my thing over there. It's going to take a little minute. We're going to have to be a little bad for a minute here. But I want to get this right because I think about it. It's important. This is an important one. Hate. Mother, I think. Yeah, father and mother. Luke 14:20. Luke 14:26. If anyone comes to me and does not hate father, mother, wife, and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life. Okay, that's what it says. Who are the people? Father, mother, wife, and children, brothers and sisters. Okay. Sometimes that might be part of the problem. Toxic people. If these people are hurting you, another person that I think about here, it's very upsetting. What do I do? Really this. I got 14 different notes here. We'll see where it goes. I think I've said some already. I listen to Charles Stanley. He's an encouraging. I think he's very encouraging. His calm demeanor. He gets me thinking about God. Like I say, this is a time daily to set aside time to think about God and get God kind of stirred up in your head. He's nicer than me. Okay, probably don't. I don't know. If you listen to me to get over, I don't know. I'll yell at you. He's nice. I listen to him, calm. I sleep. Sometimes I fall asleep to him. He's calming. I'm just telling you, it's what I do. That's what I did on Sunday, and it was helping. Really, even when I just decided I want to lay here and be depressed. That's it. I'm just going to be depressed. That's it. Like that's fine. It'll pass. Here's number 2 thing I wrote down. Think it over, honor my feelings, think it through. This happened today at work a little bit. Like I was thinking about something and it was upsetting me. And then there was a little bit of fighting in my mind about, well, just get over it, or you're bad and don't think about that. And this was what was happening. And then and really it took some time because that was then I'm like, okay. And that made me feel a little bit, but so I was kind of stuffing it instead of really honoring it. Then I thought, okay, what about this, God? Can I? I can't. I don't want to give you the exact thing I was thinking about. It's too personal. Okay. But I really honored my feelings. I'm not trying to stop. I wanted to uncover what's going on here. And then once I uncovered different other things I was thinking about, then I gave that new thought, that new revelation, say like, okay, here I'm sad. What's going on? Think. Okay, here's another idea. Okay, now that I got this in mind, let's give this a lot of time and think about this. And then I started to be like, oh, okay, now that's why. And then what am I going to do about that? Is this real? Do I need to care here, God? Compared to my life back before when I had that October 6th, I mean, I did 10,000 too many things. It was interesting when I was studying the other day about shepherds. They were saying that good leaders, this article about shepherding, why did God use shepherds to be leaders? David was a shepherd, Moses was a shepherd, and I don't know if there's any other ones, but anyway, but one of the ideas that the people had was, well, that gave them a lot of time to think. And that's interesting. I mean, I had a journal, I've kind of stopped it, but I'd have categories like eating or cooking or exercise or sleep or different things that I could chart out in an Excel thing. That's what I did for a long time. It's fading because my days are so routine now. But I could just put down there and I'm thinking. That doesn't seem like I think but there's really something since I've had so much time to think, and I get good ideas. But I needed time to think. I think that's good. Talk to yourself. Joyce Meyer says here I give Joyce Meyer, who I think might go to hell. because she teaches, and the Bible says in Hebrews 10:26-31, if you knowingly do sin and you keep on doing it, the grace no longer exists and you're going to go to hell. She does this, okay? But her teaching is good, a lot of it. I haven't listened to her for a while because I'm just done. I'll find it elsewhere, thank you. I forget even now what I was going to say about her that was good. It was good. Well, she says you're with yourself all the time. You better have a good relationship with yourself. Agreed. I lived a codependent life. Okay. I don't mean to really, bash my mom, but hey, reading that thing about Dr. Spock and psychology, and I think a lot of people could be in this codependency. I'm not dating, don't really want to. It's just, but people would say to me, in order to be in a healthy relationship, you first have to be whole your own self. And I really do believe that, for what it's worth, I believe that. I didn't know what it was like. Then I latch on to relationship taught by my mom. Codependent. Nope. And then I was flailing. Okay, once there was no relationship, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take care of myself. I learned, I did. And I think that's really, really good. I like to curse. Okay. That makes me feel better. It lets me express myself. This one guy that I value, I was like, when I really do want to come after the church world, I'm trying. Maybe not, though. I mean, I don't know, but I just thought maybe this guy just actually listens to me and he just can't deal with the cursing. I don't know, but I'm not changing, okay? Okay, I'm not going to accommodate that. I need to be whole and healthy on my own, and I do not believe it's sin. The cursing. But that's part of this. I honor my feelings. How do you? That's a really important part. When you're hurting that bad, a lot of times the choicest curse words come out because it expresses. I do a lot of dialogue at work. I'm thankful for that. I think it is very, very healthy. Number 3, in other words, don't talk. I'm reading off of my chart. In other words, don't talk yourself out of it. Listen to yourself and what you're concerned about. Okay, I've kind of said that. What's going on? Is there more? I went to a counselor one time, and that was kind of his main point. Spent thousands of dollars. Now, okay, that makes sense. And then maybe you could repeat what was said. This was what in a relationship, And then is there more? And then there's often was. Okay, so when I learned to talk to myself and hear this, and I mean, God's involved. I'm just telling you what I do. 10 out of 10 every week. Are you a 10 out of 10 emotionally all the time? I'm good at it. I've been doing it for a while. Number 4, this I've said before too, but this show, which I guess the coronavirus has stopped it. On NBC, there's a show called This Is Us. I really super like it. One of the things they said in there was that when they would, in a decision, the black guy, whatever his name is, it's been so long I'll never remember, but he's real smart. And they were, as the family, he had a phrase to describe this idea that when you would be like today, I was thinking about this, that, and the other, and then something came up and I did this. I'm like, okay, hold on there. Once things are starting to say get unearthed, knocked free in my mind. Okay, that right there is a good point. That's something that any right-minded person would be worried about. Okay, good. Now we got something. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, all right, so now this is what This Is Us said to do. And I think it's good. And I did this and I think it helped me. Okay. What's the worst scenario that could happen from this? And then you talk about that. I could try to think of an example, but I think that does good enough. Can you do that? To really honor it. And it can kind of sound crazy. And they did that in the show too. But he didn't laugh when the black guy, yep, that's good. I mean, it did make sense. When you heard it, it was like so unlikely that it would happen. But boy, to get that in the air, Okay, let's deal with that now and think about that. Is that realistic? And can you live with it? I mean, it's just, I'm very interested in the mind. I'm very interested in ideology these days. I've spent a lifetime thinking about accomplishments and doing things. I've never really cared about my internal self. I built myself up by being a CPA, by the things I did, by the appearance that I gave off, and that seemed to keep me occupied, I guess. But now I'm thinking more into health and wholeness and holiness and what does this look like and what's happening in my mind. It's better. I'm really dealing with things. I'm really dealing with things, solving things. It creates a shit ton, okay, of conflict. Just like with my friend, I've social is one of the 8 dimensions of wellness, but so I don't want to lose her friendship. But she's doing something toxic in a relationship, and I'm pretty sure we'll see. There's a Bible verse that comes to mind. I'm just telling you, like, what does it say? Something about be patient with people or whatever. And I'm going to do that. That's my mind's thinking here for a little bit, but not forever. I'm not going to enable this to go on. So I'm going to lose the friendship, but that's what I got to be able to do. And if I was codependent with relationships, I wouldn't be able to do that for her good. God help me, really. That happens a lot. Wholeness on your own. I'm fine and whole all by myself. That's not what I want to be social. I really do. So I'm not advocating. Somebody sent me this thing called Loner Wolf, and I've been thinking about this. And okay, but no, really, I want to be social. I want to be fully known and fully loved, just like you, right? I mean, that's a big one. I'm reading down my points and seeing I've already talked about that. Already talked about that. Talked about. Okay, so number 9. So this is important. This is important. I think this is how it helped me to be okay by myself, to not be codependent, to have self-esteem. I'm a worthy person. And here, I'm worthy, finding things of value and worth. This is a constant fight, really. I think I might do. I think I took down the lyrics, but I'm gonna try again to bring this up. This song, Josh Garrels and his Farther Along lyrics, because he talks about the fight. Oh, see if I want to try to. But I still get hard pressed on every side between the rock and a compromise, like truth and the pack of like truth and a pack of lies fighting for my soul. I've got no place left to go. So I think that's true. This is a fight, spiritual warfare, different things. I mean, this is, and it's always there. It's all, and I like the words, but I still get hard pressed on every side between the rock, okay, the rock and the heart, and a compromise. And that was some of the things that have been happening with me too. Here, even with 10 out of 10, I will not yield. I won't. God help me, really. But I'm just telling you that the fight is real and present now. Compromise, how easy that feels. Oh, it would relieve things. Not really though. I don't trust that. I'm just telling you. I trust holiness. Charles Stanley says it nice. Trust God, leave all the consequences to Him. That's so nice sounding, but when it's applied, really, like with my friend, trust God. If the relationship dissolves, then so be it, and it probably will. I mean, it probably will. Like truth and a pack of lies fighting for my soul. And then he has the word of encouragement because I've got changed by what I've been shown. It's more glory than the world has known. Skipping like a calf loosed from its stall. I'm free to love. I'm free to be the good person that I am. I don't have to take part of this. I don't have to take part of this nonsense like that relationship, that guy last night. Look, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to let you pull me into that toxic stuff. I'm just not going to do it. That doesn't make me a bad person. That means you are the one that is wrong. I'm just saying, you got to be okay on your own here. A lot of people are really effed up. And self-esteem, the idea of self-esteem, that did come from a counselor. So I mean, how can MacArthur just outright say that counseling's not good? Talking things over with I mean, a payment. I don't know. I'm not a super fan of it. I mainly want Beta Rock Church and having 12 good friends and to do it through the church, not through a counselor. But he did help me. He did. Different people have talked about journaling. That's good. That's where I said that's kind of part of thinking, doing a lot of thinking, talking it over, talking to someone. Yes, other than what I said earlier, that it's going to pull them down. If you're dealing with stuff and you're in a rut, that's hard. It's going to take a toll. Patience. I give things to God in prayer, and then wait. That's a little bit again here, like my Sunday experience. Like, okay, I talked to then another friend, a new friend, okay, and she said, like, it was so nice. She said about a hobby, and I'm like, hey, you know what? That was her idea. I said I was depressed, sad, but I wasn't depressed then. I mean, I wasn't. I was back to being better, but hey, I was sad. Just telling her to be, open up, to be fully known and fully loved. Well, little nugget there. What are you gonna think about this? She says that, it sounds like you need a hobby. And I'm like, that's so nice. And I said, I was praying about this. Maybe you're the answer to the prayer. I didn't say that exactly, but that was that. I mean, I think that, I don't know. That's probably what got communicated. I said, do you have any ideas? And then I thought of something funny. I said, does eating ice cream count as that does feel good, right? Comfort food. But no, that's not good. That's really medicine too. It might be okay. I mean, however you deal with this, those things can really fight like a pack of lies fighting for my soul. I got no place. People do medicate by eating, and that ain't good. Pornography's there, really, for me. I mean, I'm done with that. Listen, I mean, but it's still there. The lingering idea of it. I'm a slave to righteousness. I'm just telling you a little bit here. Hurts, but I'm okay, really. Fighting for my like a pack of lies. I just want you to feel the war from your pastor. Then she had some ideas, which I also appreciate. I said, thank you. Like, I don't think it was a drain on her. I mean, any more than anything, but it wasn't sucking the life where I feel like if I had talked to a friend on that Sunday, it was going to suck. Like, not like it would suck, but I mean, it was going to take like this kind of soul wrenching, not good. I was fine. That needed to be dealt with in different other ways. But her ideas were good. I'm just saying. Talking to somebody, that was a good idea. Praying about it, waited. And I did. I mean, I really think I got to think more about my Sundays. Last thing, let's see. Well, I wrote number 11, get toxic damn people out of your life, which I've already said before, but I bet if you're depressed, there was people involved here that you don't want to let go. Adios. Okay. Senor or senorita. I wrote down a based. That's like the fundamental thing of Beta Rock Church. Abased, abounding. What's the last thing? I can't remember the third one off the top of my head. But abased is primary, and it's first. To be okay with nothing. Because then you're again, there's a codependency with relationship, but there's a codependency on things. I was watching, okay, I was watching Dirty Dancing. I think this morning. I thought about it the other day, and then anyway, I could watch it on Prime. Okay. And I've been in these times before where I've been in these kind of retreat types where there's a bunch of people and it's super fun. It really is super fun. And you feel good. It's a good feeling. And you need money to do that. I got no money. So it's just something that I was noting, like, that is fun. It's not to poo-poo into the fact that, I don't need that. No, that would be good. That's an abounding thing that is good. I'm working on money. I'm just saying a little bit here, but to strip that away where we don't need this, that's super fun. Money provides a lot of pleasure. I mean, I love me some Hershey Park, for instance. I totally love Hershey Park. I mean, really. I mean, I think that is third on my list, maybe second. Things I like, okay? Sex, which I don't do, okay? Hershey Park is second, really. Baseball, water skiing. I like these things. They are fun. But to be okay with nothing, if you're okay with nothing, that's a good place to be. To not be codependent on anything. And that gets down to base things. God is jealous. The first of the 10 commandments, Jesus' command to love God first, all your heart, all your strength, lordship, salvation, so much sits there. Nothing. All to Jesus I surrender. That's big. I'm not proud there, though. Okay? A lot of super poor pastors like to be proud of their misery. I'm a good. No, you need to be 10 out of 10 in the 8 dimensions of wellness. I need to get more money, for instance, for me. So we're done. Is depression real? Yes. Do you need to medicate it? No. Do you need to deal with it? Yes. Wait. Should you medicate it? Absolutely not. No. That's one clear thing. Do not take medicine to help here. Talk to me. I'll definitely get you out. I think that could be a guarantee. If you trust me, I will get you out of your depression. 100% guarantee. Okay? Email me, bader@betarock.com. We're done now. We're going to pray. Cell phone, 717-660-6754. Message me on Facebook. Isn't that good? Hey, if you're depressed, I'm the answer. Really. God, what do I pray? Give someone the courage that really is stuck in depression to talk to me. In Jesus' name, amen.